All right, Shalom. Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai. Call Allah and allow Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai Bashim. Rachakodash. All right. The honors to the Apostle Elders, a great millstone. Elders that rule well. These blessings salutations to those who elect. Okay, this clip. Okay. Jake is bugged out.
What time? What time? What time? What time?
All right, kind of. So I just wanted to kind of show that. And I'm going to rewind it, because I'm going to rewind it to like right there. All right. So, it's very interesting how Yahweh Shem Shai has everything set up in this world, and nothing is by coincidence. As the scriptures say, the Lord have created all things for his sake, even the wicked for the day of evil. You have 2/3 of the house of Israel that are acting wickedly. Even though this woman is sitting here with this white on, she gives off the aura of a witch. All right, which, hey, some people might get offended by that and say, oh, she's just preaching, because, coming from a Southern background myself, we get exposed, to a certain manner of preaching. I actually went to a church where, preachers have preached like this, and where preachers have, oh Lord, thank you, and sat there for like an hour, 30 minutes, however long, just, oh Lord, crying and just doing all this, and as a child I didn't understand what was going on, but now it gives, as the nigger woman says, the so-called nigger woman, it gives witchcraft, it gives wickedness, there are things that are unbiblical about what she's doing, and you would have to be possessed by an evil spirit in order to do these things. As the Bible tells us, I suffer not a woman to teach. Okay, and then so that's the first error. Then she's out here, looking like a clergy nun with all white or whatever the hell. She looks like I don't know what to say. She looks, I see, if you are biblically inclined and you understand the scriptures, you haven't been blinded by the precepts of men, okay, and what's accepted. Just because 90% of the black Christian church accepts women up there preaching and hooping and hollering doesn't make it right in the sight of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. If there's a majority of people that accept it, more than likely it's wrong. Because the scriptures say, what broad is the way that leadeth unto destruction, narrow is the path that leadeth unto life, and there be few that go in thereat. So if you see a huge multitude, thousands or hundreds of thousands of people doing a certain thing, they're probably wrong. Okay? Because that's the broad way that leads unto destruction. All right? So just because you got a lot of women preachers, that doesn't make it right. It's incorrect. And a lot of the things that people teach is based off of the crux of Paul. But Paul says himself, I suffer not a woman to teach. Okay? I suffer not a woman to teach. Salaki. Hopefully I don't get a call here soon. Let me send a message. Okay. So anyway, Salaki, I have to send this message real quick, so I don't interrupt my lesson. But yeah, I suffer not a woman to teach, nor to usurp authority over the man. Now I can only guess what's in these pots back here. I can only guess what's in those pots on those 2 chairs. Now I'm not gonna assume what they have in particular, but typically when you see those big type of soup stock pots, then you there's a scripture that comes to mind. Okay, the scripture is this. Okay, whatever. What's going on? Yeah. Taking out my battery, man. Let's okay, boom. See if I can get it. Isaiah 65. And we're gonna start at verse, verse 1, I guess. Let's start at verse 2. I have spread out my hands all the day unto a rebellious people, which he does that by the prophets, which walketh in a way that was not good, after their own thoughts. A lot of people go after their own thoughts. They go by the precepts of men. What your mammy and your mammy's mammy and your mammy's mammy's mammy taught you to do is incorrect. As the scriptures say, women are children are our oppressors, and women rule over us. O Israel, they that lead thee cause thee to err. Okay, and so you, because you women are ruling over us when you're not supposed to. All right, you are considered those that lead us, and you are leading us in error. You know, mama, you know I love you. Your mama teaching you some bullshit. Okay, Big Mama's house. All right, what's that, soul food? You know I love you. Okay, yeah, okay, whatever. You're supposed to love. You're supposed to honor thy parents, thy father and thy mother. But the scriptures say, he that loveth father and mother or brother or wife or, all these different things more than me is not worthy of me. Okay. All right. So you're not supposed to put them above your how bashim Yahushai. If this is your mama on the screen, your mama the mama's going off. And as much as you must honor her, you must also acknowledge that mama ain't right. Okay. Sounding like a damn demon is in her body. Okay. Saying some inaudible stuff. I don't know what she's saying. I don't know. When you pull up, what's she say?
What time? What time?
Pull up, one time. I don't know what she's saying. I don't know if she freestyling. I don't know what's going on. All I know is she looked like she preaching, and this is what they do when they preach. A lot of Southern and wherever the hell she's from. Okay, this is going off. Okay, and and this is why we get on you Christians, man, is to correct you and to help you understand that what you're experiencing is incorrect. Okay, that's not supposed to be a thing. Okay, I would like to say you're not going to find that among the Hebrew Israelites, but you got those Yah blesselites where they will allow women to get up there and preach. You gotta have husband, or what is it, watchmen for Yah. Husband and wife couple. Nobody's supposed to be sitting up there staring at your wife on the video screen, whether she's attractive or not, with a big nose ass. Nobody don't need to see your wife. Okay, that's not, the woman are not supposed to be put on the forefront. That brings the reasons for adultery. Okay, but let your woman remain in silence, as it is in all the churches. For Most High is not the author of confusion. So why are there women speaking in any capacity? But this woman, she's just straight bugged out. And I didn't get to finish my scripture. Okay. Isaiah 60, what did I say it was? Salaki, I don't know if it's something on my screen. Go back. 65. And Salaki. Mess me all up. And 2, I spread my hands out all the day unto a rebellious people, which walketh in a way that was not good after their own thoughts, a people that provoketh me to anger continually to my face, that sacrifices in gardens and burneth incense upon altars of brick. Yeah, Jake have a zeal for the Most High, but not according to knowledge. It says, which remain among the graves and lodge in the monuments, which eat swine's flesh, and broth of abominable things is in their vessels. And that's the point I wanted to make about them pots in the background, was that, typically when you see them big pots, they got seafood boils in them. greens with ham hocks in them, you know, pork and bean, you know, whatever, you know what I'm saying? Beans with ham hocks in them. You know, broth of abominable things is in Jake's vessel. Jake's loves that shit. Sea, you know, different quote unquote seafood, which if it's in the sea and it's biblically not supposed to be eaten, it's not food. It's sea garbage. Is what it is. Flavored sea garbage. All right, you might as well be a pot of doo doo. But Jake sit up there and love it. I seen a video the other day of some damn, you know, because I guess we around Mardi Gras. I don't do Mardi Gras. So I don't know, right? But I've been seeing a lot of Creole videos and a lot of Louisiana. I suck the head of the crawfish and eat the booty. And I'm like, what the hell? Okay, you know, you proud about sucking on cockroaches or whatever you want to, the cockroach of the sea. Okay, Jake hate cockroaches, but then they'll sit up there and eat the water ones, water roaches. Come on, dog. Okay. And then be proud about it, man. Continue to verse 5, which says, stand by thyself, come not near to me, for I am holier than thou. These are a smoke in my nose, a fire that burn all the day long. So when you see, you know, Mama Jeezy, looking like young Jeezy mama. I don't know what young Jeezy mama look like, but I'm just saying. You can't tell me she, you know what I'm saying? Hey man, you know, this is just, you know, they are drunk in it, but not with wine. They stagger, but not with strong drink. All right, they are drunken with the philosophies that demon that hops on a woman and tells her to go dedicate her life to going the fuck off, standing on the street corners and preaching as if she knows something. Okay, we're not in the time of Deborah when she judged Israel. We ain't in those times. The prophets are on the scene, and when there was a man to stand up, a prophet to stand up, there wasn't no woman out there having to do no judgment and no preaching to no Israelites. The 144,000 are men. All right. Yes, the 1/3 of the elect will contain women, but the 144,000 prophets are men, which will reign around the throne of Yahushua for 1,000 years. They are men. Okay, that will be fellow heirs with Yahushua and get that privilege of ruling around this throne with him. Okay, not women. No women is involved in that. All right, that's not a woman's ministry. All right. It tells a woman if she's going to learn from her husband, not husbands learn from your wives if they in the stead of a whatever. No, that's not how that goes. Women are supposed to, older age woman is supposed to teach the younger women to be chaste, to be keepers at home, to be obedient unto their husbands and things of that nature. Not to, you know, I'm going to teach you the scriptures and you're going to learn the breakdowns, and that's not the typical thing. And if a woman does understand it, then good. But it's not for you to be out preaching. You understand? So, you know, this is one of the videos I had downloaded to be a topic, you know, for a lesson. So I'm just harping on it, just going through it. And then Lord willing, I'll come back here shortly with another one. And you were edified. So the next time I want to say shalom.